New construction versus existing homes. Which is better? Hey everyone, Tony Janko here with the Janko Realty Group, your Hendricks County guide to all things real estate. Over the last couple of videos, we took a deep dive into both sides of this conversation. We talked about the truth behind new construction, and we also talked about the truth behind buying an existing home. Today, I want to bring those two conversations together and answer one of the most common questions I get from buyers. Which one is actually better, new construction or an existing home? The honest answer is that there is no one-size-fits-all solution. However, there is a right answer for you depending on your goals, your timing, and your budget. So let's break it down in a way that helps you make the best decision. Let's start with a simple definition. New construction is a home that is brand new and has never been lived in, and often allows for some level of customization depending on the stage of construction. An existing home is already built, typically move-in ready, and located in an established neighborhood. That sounds pretty straightforward, but once you get into the details, the differences become much more important. Let's begin with price, because that's where most buyers start. New construction typically comes with a higher base price. On top of that, once you start adding upgrades like flooring, cabinetry, countertops, or structural options, that price can increase quickly. However, what many buyers are not fully aware of is builders are offering incentives right now. These can include interest rate buydowns, closing cost assistance, or credits towards upgrades. Depending on the situations, those incentives can make new construction more competitive than it first appears. With existing homes, the purchase price is often lower up front. That said, buyers need to consider the possibility of maintenance updates or repairs that can come sooner rather than later. So the real question is not simply what the purchase price is, but what the total cost of ownership will look like over the next several years. Now let's talk about location. And this is where it's really important to compare both new construction and existing homes side by side. In Plainfield, when it comes to new construction, finding a home that is both a Plainfield address and in the Plainfield school district can be very difficult, especially at an affordable price point. There's simply not a lot of opportunities that can meet both those criteria. However, when you look at existing homes in Plainfield, there are significantly more options available. You'll find a wider variety of neighborhoods, price points, and home styles, which give buyers more flexibility. Now in Avon, this is where you really have the most options overall. Avon has a large number of new construction communities ranging from entry-level houses to higher-end properties, along with 55 and older communities. At the same time, Avon also has a strong inventory of existing homes, so buyers have solid choices on both sides. Brownsburg offers a good mix of both new construction and existing homes. However, there's less land available compared to Avon, so the total number of options is typically lower. And because of that, homes in Brownsburg can sell quickly, especially when they're priced correctly and in desirable neighborhoods. No matter which route you're considering, one thing that applies to both new and existing homes is understanding what's around the property and what could be coming in the future. An open field or undeveloped land nearby may not stay that way. It could become another neighborhood, a retail space, or something entirely different. Taking time to understand future development plans can have a major impact on your long-term satisfaction and property value. Now let's talk about something many buyers do not fully consider, and that's the yard, landscaping, and overall feel of the property. With existing homes, you're often getting mature landscaping that typically includes a full yard in both front and back, established grass, larger trees, and natural shade. The neighborhood tends to feel more complete and settled. With new construction, you may have sod installed in the front yard, but the backyard's often just seeded dirt. It can take multiple seasons, along with consistent maintenance and watering for that yard to fully come in. If you have pets, especially dogs, that backyard can turn into a muddy mess during the spring months. This is something many buyers do not fully anticipate until they're living in it. Thinking about relocating to the Indianapolis area? Well, I've got just a thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it below. From top employers to the best hospitals and a boatload of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part is this guide is 100% free. That's right, you heard me, 100% free. Just click the link in the description below or the top pinned comments. Hope that helps. Another important consideration is the overall vibe of the neighborhood. With an existing home, you can see exactly what the neighborhood looks like and how it feels. You can drive through, observe how well homes are maintained, and get a clear sense of the environment. With new construction, You're often buying into what the neighborhood is expected to become. That comes with some uncertainty. If a few early homeowners do not maintain their properties well, it can have a negative impact on the overall appearance and even the future resale value. Now let's talk about customization versus character. New construction offers modern layouts, open concepts, and the ability to choose finishes that match your preferences. For many buyers, this is a major advantage. However, homes can start to feel somewhat similar from one to the next, and upgrades can add up quickly. Existing homes often provide more character, more unique layouts, and in many cases, larger lots. The trade-off is that you may need to make updates over time to bring your home in line with your personal style. Another major difference is the number of options available. Existing homes provide significantly more choices overall. Not all those options being equal, but you'll have a much wider selection across different neighborhoods, price points, and home styles. With new construction, you're limited to what the builders are currently offering, where they're building, and what price ranges they are targeting. That can narrow down your choices considerably. Let's talk about timing. With new construction, you're typically looking at a build time of 6 to 8 months, sometimes larger. Delays can and do happen, so flexibility and patience are important. With existing homes, the process is much faster. Most transactions close within 30 to 45 days, and what you see is what you get. Now let's take a closer look at inspections and repairs. This is where the process really starts to differ. With new construction, you still should have an inspection. A new home is not guaranteed to be free of issues. However, when items are identified, those repairs are typically handled by the builder according to the terms of the contract and the builder's standards. Instead of negotiating back and forth, the process is generally focused on having the builder correct those items prior to closing. With existing homes, you'll also conduct an inspection, but the process is very different. When issues are found, that is where negotiations begin. The buyer and seller have several options. The seller may choose to complete the repairs prior to closing. The seller may also offer credit so that the buyer can handle repairs after closing. There may be a price adjustment or a combination of all these approaches. There is not a single path. There are many possible ways to structure a solution, and that negotiation process can be a significant advantage when handled correctly. Now let's talk about long-term strategy, because this is where costly mistakes can happen. With new construction, it's very important to understand what other homes in the neighborhood are selling for. Over-upgrading a home can push its value beyond what the market will support. In addition, if the builder is still actively building in a neighborhood, you will be competing with brand new homes when it comes time to sell. Another factor to consider is the neighborhood standards can change. A builder may begin a community with a certain vision and price point, but if market conditions shift and the builder's not in a strong financial position, they may sell off the remaining lots. Those lots could then be developed with smaller, more affordable homes, which can impact the overall feel and long-term values within the neighborhood. And this situation occurs more often than buyers realize. With existing homes, values tend to be more stable and predictable, and there's typically less risk of that kind of shift. So which one is better? New construction or an existing home? The answer comes down to your priorities. New construction may be a better fit if you want customization, modern features, and lower maintenance in the early years. An existing home may be the better choice if you want an existing neighborhood, mature landscaping, faster move-in, and more options to choose from. If you're trying to decide which direction makes the most sense, it's important to approach it with a clear strategy rather than guessing your way through it. I've seen buyers overpay for new construction, and I've also seen buyers miss great opportunities in existing homes. The difference comes down to planning and guidance. If you would like help putting together a plan that fits your situation, feel free to reach out to us. My partner Tony Eads or myself, Tony Janko with the Janko Realty Group. We've helped over 850 families buy, sell, and build homes here throughout the Indianapolis area, and we would be happy to help you as well. If you found this helpful, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more content designed to help you make smarter real estate decisions. Thanks.